President Obama this week announced that we're going to do a review group designed to assess the nation's intelligence and surveillance gathering practices. And who did he assign to put the gang together? Well, he went with James Clapper. You may remember James Clapper from this.
So what I wanted to see is if you could give me a yes or no answer to the question, does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
It does not.
Not wittingly. There are cases where they could inadvertently, perhaps, collect, but not wittingly.
Okay, I really love that video because you remember the episode of Seinfeld when they talked about how if you're lying, the more you're lying, the higher up on your face you're touching. He's literally scratching his scalp off. He's scratching the top of his head off there. So that's James Clapper, who is the director of national intelligence, and that him is lying. He is lying to Congress and to all of us. So of course he's the guy that's going to head the group, that's going to watchdog the thing. Is this just, again, I mean, this sort of is like the previous topic, but is this, who could get away with this but the government?
I like the idea of an accidental spy. Like, oh, we have all this information. We didn't get it on purpose.
Yeah,
but oh, look at this. We happen to have it.
Right. The word unwittingly. Not wittingly.
And using perhaps.
Yeah.
You know, the things that are like questionable.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe, is that what you're saying? You're maybe doing this? But honestly,
how do they choose this guy? How does he, doesn't it seem like such a slap in the face? We're going to take the guy who just lied to you, and you all know he lied, so here we go.
Are you surprised, though? Because I'm not.
No, sadly, no.
I'm not in the least, because I thought, was it 2012 or 2011? There was that expansion of the Patriot Act put in place by Obama, and I thought, this is not, and then in the advent of the Snowden and all of this being found out in terms of, hey, look, you're a big fat, I was going to say Greek liar, but you're a big fat liar.
Yeah, he's
but
not Greek.
He's not Greek.
Yeah.
Darn.
Not on purpose.
That play on words doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
But so with the combination of two things being that Obama's in office and he's deliberately extended the scope and the power of the Patriot Act, and then this being found out, I'm not surprised that you'd he has a conflict of interest. Now that because the public is aware of it, I have to conduct an investigation. Well, who's going to investigate this in the least beneficial way to ensure the guy that lied to everybody's faces?
Yeah. So does this go to like the problem with Obama sort of is that we all still want to like him? Like even the way you just said that, there's this feeling like, oh, he plays basketball, he seems to kind of like weed, like, you know what I mean? He hangs out with Jay-Z and Beyonce, so we all kind of want to like him. So even when he does stuff like this, there's this feeling of like, well, it can't really be Obama's fault, even though he did it.
Right, it's not like you don't want to admit, okay, if it's not Obama's fault, then there are people that are just walking all over this guy. That's like, this is what we're going to do.
Isn't that the scary part? Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
you know?
That's the scary part, right?
Yeah.
If he's not in charge, then who is it? Now
Then
we're going
is?
slightly off topic here.
But it becomes clear, like when this guy's put in charge, the only purpose of this group is for that guy to say, well, no, you can't say it like that. No, that's not information you can put out there. No, you're going to have to look a little harder. Like if anybody actually finds any real information of wrongdoing, that guy is there.
That's the guy who's getting fired.
Yeah, and he's there to say, well, that's not going to be on this report.
Yeah.
Nope.
He's going to go, well, wittingly, we can't put that in this report.
It's like those old-fashioned redacted files where you see everything is blacked out except hello and the dates, and it's like, that's exactly what's going to be found. Oh, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
Of course, in a redacted file, there's nothing.
So is that part of it then, that even if they had chosen someone that was respected, that we already all know the outcome of this? They're not going to change anything, right? I mean, Obama was on Leno last week saying we don't spy on Americans, but pretty much everything that I've seen since then says the complete reverse.
And I think it's, maybe we don't want to know. Maybe it's them assuming that the American people don't actually want to know really.
Yeah.
And if there was really if there was a way to find someone who is truly impartial, who would really delve into this thoroughly and actually reveal, hey, these are the findings, it would be terrifying because it would be like, oh my God, you know this about me and this and that. And maybe it would create widespread panic, and that's the rationale to we'll just put the appearance of we're going to investigate, but we're going to make it so that you're not really expecting an answer, right?
Yeah.
Right?
So I pretty much believe what you just said there. I believe that to be true, that they just have to keep sort of lying to us. The lie is so big that they just kind of have to keep lying, otherwise the whole house of cards falls. But is that kind of sad that America has gotten to that?
Of course it's sad, but even in best case scenario, you know that if somebody completely independent is put in charge, and they're like, look at all this stuff we found, then whoever doesn't want them to find that out will be able to say, well, look at all this stuff that we have on you from when we were spying.
Exactly.
Maybe you don't want to put it out.
That is the huge part that nobody's willing to talk about. The chill effect of this whole thing is that everybody has watched porn, right?
Right.
And not saying you're watching illegal porn of any kind, but everyone, married people are watching porn without their wife knowing. So now you get this guy to, you know what I mean? And then he's going to be like, oh, I guess everything's okay, you know?
It looks fine. Or I have this file on you. Well, we have this file on you. Naughty Nurses 8. Oh, I don't have this file on you. You know, it's...
Exactly. Man, we are truly becoming a Philip K. Dick novel in this country.